is Rohan, and today we are going to talk about Einstein versus Newton and how they were the amazing people. And if you are one of the persons who have grown up watching, reading perhaps both of them, then you might remember how Einstein is the way people call you genius. I remember when I was studying, and whenever I used to uh, do good, people would always call me, "Are you Einstein?" or "Are you a scientist?" And it was analogous to being intelligent, and uh, people were really admirable. And I also liked it when people called me Einstein. And obviously, it's a great thing to say someone because you are. It means you're amazing, you're good, and it's a likable feature. But who was Einstein? Einstein has always been described as a quirky person, quirky little creature who did amazing things. Okay, he gave us relativity, the concept of time and speed. Okay, and because he literally bended the physics, what Einstein predicted about gravitational waves, we discovered it 100 years later. So such was the brilliance of Einstein that he was ahead of his time. And there's this famous saying, rather a conversation between the two beautiful giants, Mahatma Gandhi and Einstein. Einstein would say to Gandhi that you're a man of such a simplicity, and everybody loves you. Uh, you're a remarkable person. And Gandhi would comment, "You're even more remarkable than me because nobody understands what you do and people still admire you." So, such was the brilliance of Einstein. But if you have been on the internet for quite few time, you would understand the brilliance of Newton, because you can't have Einstein without Newton. Of course, Einstein gave us all the things which are applicable to the very small things, atoms, particles, and of course in the universe. But it wasn't as if he disproved Newton, rather he reaffirmed Newton. And if you think about it, Einstein's equation. Hi, Manisha Kumarji. Ask me questions about science if you have any. So Einstein was such a big intellectual, but he did not disprove Newton, because when you take the Einstein's equation and you collapse it in the frame of reference of the Earth, it becomes a Newton's equation. So Einstein equations are already Newton's equation, and you can't have Einstein without Newton, because Newton basically laid the foundation of science and calculus. Whatever you have heard, whatever you have read about, all the physics, the laws of motion, the gravitation, all the basic things which you learned in school are given by Newton. And if you read and if you study, keep on studying, you will keep finding that Newton's name is everywhere. So when you compare the geniuses of Einstein and Newton, obviously both of them are genius and uh, out of the world, because Einstein is really a high level intelligence guy, and we are still discovering and rediscovering things from Einstein's equation, and it is still something which boggles our mind, because because he, and of course Maxwell, gave us the quantum physics which breaks everything. You can be here and you cannot be here at the same time. At the micro level, things change very rapidly, but we can't have all of this unless you learned the basics of physics. And the basics of physics and basics of mathematics is Newton. So if we compare 1 is to 1, for each one of us to understand science and mathematics at the very good level, we need Newton. And when we want to explore the universe, explore the world, and understand it in a deeper manner, we need Einstein. So if you are pitting against 1 is to 1, then obviously Newton wins by a chance, because if there was an Einstein, there will be another person who would take the equation and find us the geniuses. Maybe not one person, maybe a combination of many people. but it will be possible. But if you don't have Newton, you don't have anybody else, because without the basics you can't discover new things and new ideas. And that's it. That's It's for you guys. What do you think? Who is your favorite scientist? uh, Growing up, what subjects do you like the most, and what something baffles you? Is there anything you want me to explain? You can share your comments, and uh, we can discuss. Science is a beautiful thing. It's a journey of curiosity and understanding, and perhaps in the scheme of your life and the things, none of it matters, and that's life for you. It's totally okay that you don't have to understand everything. Like, how does a fridge work, how does a washing machine work? You don't have to understand how things work, but you can, uh, once you understand it, once you try to get the physics and mechanics and the biology of it, you will it will feed your curiosity and you like it even more. And you can just be amazed at how the physics in the life of everything makes sense, and it makes our life so much amazing and so much beautiful. Take a simple thing like pushing a ball with the help of a stick. You're using leverage, that is physics, and the implications and the magical thing you can do with science is amazing. People perhaps go to magic shows to see how within a sleight of hand you can have a new card on your table. And that's amazing, that's beautiful. But science does it every day, and people are often oblivious to it. Like, what is the biggest thing you own in your hand? It's probably an iPhone, okay, or any kind of phone you can say. And it is a metallic uh, rectangle of possibility, because it is right now uh, a cuboid shaped thing, but it is getting so slim and slim that it will become a rectangle in two dimensions in some time or another. And it's a magical plate of possibility, and it is possible. Like, imagine this: it has a metallic body, there are plastics, there are circuits going on, there is electricity, there is a glass, and somehow there is a connection, and because of that you can connect to the world and change it. You can create, you can adapt, you can do all of these things. You have a great credit to give to science. Like, you can't have electromagnetism without Maxwell. You can't have the electricity things without the science, and without the understanding of science and its application. So we have in us to thank all these geniuses who see world in a different way, question it, give us the equation, and find out how things move, and make our world a better place for everyone to live in. it it seems like a simple thing, but if you can take only the things Newton has discovered or invented, and you can just read that, and it might take you a lifetime to understand it, and it will enrich you. And remember, Newton did all of this before the age of 30. So it's even more mind-boggling that a person can possess such an intelligence at a high level of the nature around us, and give it in the perfect mathematical language for you to understand, interpret, read, and take it forward. And that's what Einstein did. He took it forward and made the understanding of our universe at such a high level that we cannot even imagine to unravel. And from our modern days, if there's one person who took it to even another level, it would be Stephen Hawking's, of his famous black hole radiation. It's a fascinating thing, by the way. Let me try to explain it. uh, any star, if it becomes too big, either it can become a supernova and just expand its energy and vanish, okay, and a new star may be born, or it can implode into itself because of its huge size. And if it implodes, it keeps on imploding, and its gravity will keep on increasing, and it will keep on attracting uh, the other objects to it, and it will keep bigger and bigger, and it will keep on imploding, and the gravity will keep bigger and bigger, and slowly the density of that star would become such that it would amass a huge amount of mass in a very short space, and yet the gravity will be so huge that it could engulf anything. and it will engulf even light, and even light cannot come back from it. And if light doesn't come back from it, you can't perceive it with your eyes, and it will be perceived as nothingness or black. That's what black hole is. And with this theory, it would seem like uh, you can just if once a black hole becomes black hole, it would keep on getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and there would be no end to it. And what's the point of that? uh, it will eventually engulf the whole universe, because its gravity will keep on increasing and so on. So black hole will eventually engulf the universe, but that is not the case. What actually happens, is what discovered by Stephen Hawking, was that he observed that black hole emits something called some radiation. It's called Stephen Hawking radiation. Uh, Radiation such that, imagine a black hole, and at its boundary there's a particle, okay, which uh, emerges out of nothingness. It has a positive and negative ions in it, and one ion, because of the black hole gravity, goes back into the black hole, and another comes away from the black hole, and it's an energy, it's a radiation. And that radiation has to come from the mass, because of the Einstein's equation, E is equal to mc square. So it takes some mass away from the black hole because of this radiation. Therefore a black hole can become as big if it wants, but because of the black hole radiation, it will slowly emit mass out of nothingness, and then it will dissipate, become smaller and smaller, and eventually black hole will die out. So it seems like a paradox, but that is the truth of it. And we can wonder and discover and talk and have such a beautiful thing, uh, because of the geniuses like Einstein, Newton, and Stephen Hawking. And we can unravel into the journey, because they gave us the tools to study. They already laid the foundation so high that we can only progress incrementally. After that, they have almost discovered all the main things which can be discovered and described and written, that we have only incremental things. And you can see this in the Nobel Prize winners list, because uh, when you read, it's very technical and it's very so small, and you think, what is even the point? That is the point. And perhaps the nature is limited and major things have been discovered, or maybe there is yet another Newton or Einstein to come into the picture and give us a wonderful explanation, or perhaps a new chapter, a new book. And there was some kind of uh, baffling going on because of a string theory, quantum mechanics, but it's not surpassed such a level and such an understanding now. But we hope to do it, and maybe you can see things in a different way, or a new mathematical equations can come up, and we can understand the nature surrounding us even better, and with even more depth. And what would be your uh, best equations or theory or topic about from Newton or Einstein which baffled you, and what, like, how did they come about it, and what's the story there, and how does it even work in the universe? How can you, or living on earth in a so small tiny brain, with your brain also a combination of neurons baffling here and there, somehow understand the concept of the whole world, and be amazing? That's what these geniuses are, Newton or Einstein. They make up such an amazing pair, and it's only a start. And we can dive deep into their equations and the way they think and how it benefits the whole world, and that can be a chapter into itself. But that's it for now, and I will see you next time with some equations or some topic, going deep dive in some examples and trying to understand it, and making thanking them for making our life even better and deeply and curious and uh, amazingly awesome. And thank you for staying here and following my ramblings and being a part of it. It's all worth it, and thank you for your time, and I'll see you soon.